Charity embodies the archetypal spoiled child, raised in material abundance but spiritual poverty. Her upbringing in a wealthy urban household creates a distorted worldview where servants exist solely for her convenience and respect is demanded rather than earned. The narrative establishes her character through vivid scenes, shouting at mates over cold breakfast, sleeping through classes, and insulting family friends without remorse. These behaviors reveal not mere childish rudeness but a fundamental disconnect from basic human decency. The story effectively contrasts Charity's public persona with her parents' respectable social standing. Mr. and Mrs. Okori hold important positions in church and community, yet suffer private shame over their daughter's conduct. This juxtaposition highlights a central theme: external success means nothing when internal character is corrupt. The parents' anguish is palpable, particularly in Mrs. Okori's quiet tears and the family friends warning about Charity's character. The decision to send Charity to boarding school represents a pivotal moment that many parents face, choosing between comfort and correction. The Okori's decision demonstrates painful wisdom. They recognize that their wealth and permissiveness have created a monster of entitlement. Charity's violent reaction to the news, including her declaration, "I hate you," illustrates how deeply her sense of privilege runs. She views discipline as punishment rather than intervention, unable to comprehend that her parents act from love rather than malice. The introduction of Sapelle House and Mrs. of Ramanta marks the story's transition from problem to solution. The boarding school functions as more than an educational institution. It becomes a crucible where character is forged through consistent discipline and unwavering standards. Mrs. of Ramanta emerges as the story's moral anchor. Unlike Charity's parents, who struggled with enforcing consequences, this matron maintains firm boundaries without cruelty. Her philosophy, "discipline without care is cruelty," encapsulates the story's pedagogical approach. She doesn't break Charity's spirit but rather redirects it toward productive ends. The transformation unfolds gradually and realistically. Charity doesn't become perfect overnight. Instead, she experiences repeated cycles of resistance, punishment, and gradual acceptance. Her initial attempts to use old manipulation tactics fail completely in this new environment. The story shows growth through concrete details: making her bed properly, greeting juniors kindly, volunteering for extra duties. These small acts accumulate into fundamental character change. Particularly powerful is the scene where Charity falls ill and Mrs. of Ramanta personally brings her food. This moment reveals that strict discipline coexists with genuine care. Charity's confusion, "You care," demonstrates her previous inability to distinguish between authority and love. This realization becomes the emotional turning point where external compliance begins transforming into internal conviction. The narrative explores several interconnected themes. First, it challenges the notion that wealth exempts anyone from basic courtesy and effort. Charity's journey proves that character transcends socioeconomic status. Second, it examines the relationship between comfort and character, suggesting that excessive ease breeds weakness while appropriate challenge builds strength. The story also addresses parental responsibility. The Okoris made their daughter what she became through indulgence and inconsistent discipline. Their eventual intervention, though painful, demonstrates that true parental love sometimes requires causing temporary pain for long-term benefit. This message resonates particularly in contexts where parents equate love with material provision while neglecting character formation. Additionally, the narrative emphasizes that respect cannot be demanded or purchased, it must be earned through consistent behavior. Charity's evolution from someone who commanded fear to someone who inspired genuine admiration illustrates this principle powerfully. As an African story, the narrative reflects communal values where individual behavior affects family reputation. The shame Charity brings upon her respectable parents carries weight beyond personal embarrassment. It threatens their social standing and moral authority. The church setting emphasizes this communal dimension. Mr. Okori's position as a church leader makes his daughter's misconduct particularly scandalous. Before we continue, don't forget to jam that like button and subscribe button for more stories. Okay. Let's continue. The boarding school setting itself carries cultural significance. In many African contexts, boarding schools represent spaces where traditional values of discipline, hard work, and respect are preserved against increasingly permissive modern influences. The story's conclusion avoids fairytale perfection. Charity becomes better, not perfect. She faces setbacks, like the conflict with Blessing, but handles them with newfound maturity. Her academic improvement stems not from sudden brilliance but from consistent effort, a realistic portrayal of growth.